how does the regulatory environment impact you guys, your ability to innovate, your ability to not just innovate, but then implement the things that you come up with?
So in our case, whether it's regulations or governance, I'll use those somewhat interchangeably. That's actually a friend of the PCN, and here's why. If you go back to the sales order, purchase order, what we've discovered is in this platform environment, every commercial transaction on the planet has at least one third-party observer. And in many cases, there's more observers to the transaction than are participants. And so those observers demand to know certain information. They're called regulators. So it's the FDA, it's the FTC, that they want to know what's going on in that transaction. And so we're a system of evidence. So the evidence that the consumer sees is a different set of evidence than the regulator sees because of the vantage point and their credentials. And so the more that the government can clearly articulate, this is what we need to know, that's our friend. And so in the case of the industrial sector, there's a whole bunch of NIST standards, 800-171, 800-161, 853, 838, that say if you're doing this stuff, whether it be semiconductors and microelectronics, you have to have this disclosure. And the acid test of that is that the big one that somebody was asking yesterday, is NFTs or blockchain important to the enterprise space? If you're in the clothing and apparel space, abso-effing-lutely, because there were 3,500 cases of the Customs and Border Patrol intercepting shipments that are coming into the United States for apparel goods. 458 of those were denied. 1,700 are in process for the Forced Labor Protection Act. What's that all about? Chinese forced labor. And you have to prove to the federal government that you don't have that in your product. It's very difficult to prove a negative. What you can do is you can say, well, here's the evidence I have that it's not that. And so the regulations, short summary, help us if they're clearly defined.